Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new, fresh episode of the Ubuntu Touch Q&A, episode number 134, streamed live on this wonderful 17th of February 2024. I'm Alfred, the Bit Flipper, and tonight with me is Apply.
Happily, thank you. So to start, we will have a call for volunteers because in May there will be an election of the board of, I don't know, director or trustees for the UB Ports Foundation. And in order to participate, and it's important to, let's say, express your voice, then you can become a trustee. To become a trustee, you have to be involved in the community for at least 6 months, I think, or maybe 6 months. And so you have to send an email to membership@ubports.com with your legal name, the full name, a parent consent if you're underage, and also a statement that you're allowed to become a foundation trustee on German jurisdiction, because the UB Ports Foundation is under the German Berlin law. And also you have to express what has been your contribution for the community, and tell us if you intend to contribute also for the next 6 months. I think, Alfred, you're already a trustee, so exactly. You can vote. I'm not a trustee. I have to admit I'm not yet a trustee, but I will consider it, and I probably will. So
just go ahead. I mean, there's nothing bad about it. So
no,
much
it's just one of yours.
Other than a little bit of responsibility here. So yeah. So we take this as serious as we can, and we want to make sure that this whole thing works as it is expected. And for that, we would really welcome people joining the boat and becoming trustees here, just so that we can do what we want to do and continue doing it the way that it's supposed to be driven.
Yeah, and hopefully it will go in a good direction.
Oh, yeah.
We already have good works that have been done during the past 2 weeks. And first of all, I think I wanted to mention that Clickable, that allows developers to create apps for Ubuntu Touch, is now available as a snap. So thanks, Jonathan, for that. I tried it myself, it works. And I was able to do the job that I didn't do for the past couple of months, or maybe even more than that. I think I just put it aside and set myself to say, yeah, it's a bit too complicated. I don't want to go deep into it. But at first then we had a boost of motivation. So the week after that, I dig into it, installed Clickable, updated my phone to Focal, and now I updated my apps to Focal as well. So thank you all for this newfound motivation. I hope it will stay with me and continue this way for a longer period of time.
Perfect. Yeah, and also, if I might plug my own little project here, I'm also trying to get Clickable running in tight IDE so that we can have, potentially in the future, a full-blown development environment that is integrated with the development process or the app development mechanics of Ubuntu Touch. So that is something that I'm personally looking forward to. I hope that I can integrate Clickable as perfectly as possible, because Clickable as a snap has been requested for a very long time, and by multiple people, and it's easily installable now. I even installed it on a laptop here, and it works together with the Docker snap. And so you're free to choose the Docker snap or your package manager provided Docker installation, and it should work with both. Now
I choose the package one, and it was fine.
So there we go.
It works. That's good.
Yeah. Okay, should we go ahead and go to the technical deep dive? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So last time we introduced you with our buckets, the 6 buckets that we brushed over. And today we will introduce you to the people behind the buckets. So we decided to, some people volunteered to be the first contact for these work groups. And we also identified a couple of, let's say, projects that are top priorities for us and that we should work on for the next period of time. So it has been defined a period of 6 months between those touchdown or get together. I don't know. We haven't decided for lasting name, I think, but it will come in time.
Yeah. So yeah, we have the 6, or we had the 6 buckets last time, and I guess we should start with the app compatibility one. That one starts with Snaps and DistroBox, where Snaps, I am the main contact, which is at fredl.me, FREDLDOTME on Telegram, which is basically trying to provide Snap integration into Ubuntu Touch and making sure that snaps work for as many use cases that there are basically feasible for and working well for on Ubuntu Touch. And but that's not the only thing. We're also trying to get stuff like DistroBox running, and for that, Notkit has raised the hand and tries to bring that forward. The handle is @notkit on Telegram, and DistroBox, just as much as Snaps or other solutions to bring application compatibility, or even like containerized solutions on the table. I think DistroBox would be very cool to be something that basically provides what Libertine does right now, but in a more flexible way. And I mean, that is something that people have been playing around with for a very long time, Libertine, and it still hasn't gotten to the point. I guess we all have to admit it's not as good as we want it to be right now, but it's okay for what it does. You can run your Firefoxes inside of it. You can run your various X applications inside of a Libertine container, but I'm pretty sure DistroBox is something that many people are looking forward to when it's about a cross distribution functionality, so to say, app compatibility.
Yeah. I hope it will be easier to use, to work with, and hopefully not buggy.
Yeah.
But we have high hopes for those projects because it might bring also new developers to Ubuntu Touch. So hopefully that's the idea.
Yeah.
We have also wait, yeah.
I also thinking back of like plugging in the Fairphone 4 the first time into a monitor dock, so to say, with the keyboard and mouse and the external monitor. Now that we have that, I think that DistroBox would be cool to have, like the ability to just run, like, I don't know, let's say Fedora or the OpenSUSE box inside of a container and run applications with that are better or better integrated into those distributions. Why not, right?
Yeah. One also important topics that we discussed. So the second bucket, there's no real order, but the second we will talk about this time is user experience. And for that, the first point was VLT. Yeah, we all know that this is a big topic, must have for at least our friends in the US or in North America. This is a big pain point, and we want to have it as soon as possible. And Ivan raised the hand and say, okay, I want to be the point of contact of this group. And yeah, thanks for all the members of the group. We will today talk about the member as a contact member, but there are also other contributors to those groups. So thanks to all of them. So the handle is, I don't know if I can spell it right now, but reach out to us on the forum, and Ivan will know, because I cannot pronounce his name. I think I don't want to butcher it. Sorry, Ivan.
I would like to try myself, but I also
Go
have
ahead.
more respect of Ivan than I would be willing to butcher his name. So there we go. Yeah, the second one of the user experience part is backups, online or offline backups, mainly online, cloud storage based backups for your self-hosted cloud instances for now. So the idea is basically to have, and I've started the work. I mean, I have it here in the. Oh my God, this is too bright, way too bright. It starts with having a little cloud icon. Where is it? Little cloud icon here, backup and restore in the system settings, where you could check which types of files you want to back up to your cloud storage, which cloud storage to back it up to, and also restore them onto a new device, for example, so that you would not have to go through the hassle of or the pain of going through the recovery and tarring up your home directory or user data partition. That would be, I personally would like to see this being solved, which is why I wanted this to be done, or I want this to be done. And so just get in touch with me when you want to work on backup related things. So it's basically about backing up documents, your music, your pictures, your videos, and also application data, so that all applications, when you restore them, are perfectly restored onto your new device when you're done setting it up in the future, right?
Yeah. Well, just to moderate the expectation on this point, if you, let's say, back up things and wait for a couple of months, years, and then try to restore them, maybe it won't be perfect, at least for the apps, because if there are some app updates, then of course it will be not really compatible, or if it's a huge update. But at least for backupping, changing from, restoring, then it will be fine.
Yeah, perfect. So
And the third point is about the notches. So yeah, more and more devices have some kind of camera on top or in the middle, on the left, on the right side. And we have to deal with those notches in the screen, and we have to find a way to move the indicators around to make way for those notches.
Oh yeah.
This is something that we have some workarounds, but not yet a definitive solution integrated within the system. So hopefully this will become a reality soon. And it's also Ivan that raised the hand to be the point of contact for this group. So if you're interested in working with this, then you can reach out to Ivan and start working on it. Thank you.
Yeah, that has been the user experience part. The three most important things for us about the user experience. The third one is onboarding. And for onboarding, we mean community onboarding and making sure that people are aware of the opportunities that they have, about the options that are available for contributing, and how to get involved in the project. And for that, we have onboarding sessions, which has been taken over by Diogo Constantino on Telegram. So just get in touch with Diogo, and we'll see what comes out of it. And yeah, I think I'm not very much like aware of the ideas of Diogo here, but I'm pretty sure that Diogo can pull off something great here because I trust this guy.
Yeah, I think I understand some bits. There are already some onboarding sessions.
Yeah, I was outside having a smoke while this discussion happened.
Yeah, so they put some kind of meeting just to discuss about how you can how to discover Ubuntu Touch, how to start and how to start developing and the key concepts. So, and I think there are also videos on YouTube, but I'm not sure, not 100% sure. But yeah, get in touch with Diogo, and he will help you get in touch and register for maybe the next session. Also, if you want to help organize them, then it will be something that is more frequent because, if it depends on only one person, then it's hard to keep the same pace at all time. And so the second topic was about bridging the gap between system and app development. And that's something I'm really interested in. So that's why I took the lead on this, and I'm a point of contact. So that's at Appsly. You add an S in the middle of my nickname. And on Telegram. And my goal is to try to reach out with different people knowing about system development. I know a bit about app development because I already tried myself at this task. And the goal is to perfect the documentation and try to bring a wider overview of how to develop at system level. So it can be for the main parts, the core apps, or the core developments, how to, for example, moving from Focal to, I don't remember the name of the 24
No.
Noble.
Yeah.
So yeah, this kind of stuff, and also maybe it will help understand at which level the porter will have to do their work, because they work obviously on a lower level because they need to address the driver's issue and everything. But yeah, at this point the documentation is not the best, so I hope we can improve it.
Definitely, yeah. So number 3 of the onboarding bucket was basically the website, which Capsia was very willing to like get the ball rolling and to get stuff working as expected. So at Capsia 37 on Telegram, if you want to get in touch. And yeah, do you have any specific like ideas about or information about the website part? Do you remember some of them? You can tell it was so packed. The thing was so packed that I forgot so much of it.
Yeah, we had so many information, but yeah, I remember that the device page should be updated, or if it has been, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but yeah, work is being done on the device page, and also we discussed about how to reorganize the different URLs we have, because we have ubuntu-touch.io, we have ubports.com, we have the openstore.io. So how to create a more consistent look and feel, how to easily find information within those 3 main URLs. Yeah, basically trying to have the website easier to understand for the newcomers.
There we go.
And for the people that didn't came to the website for a long time.
Okay, well, that wraps up the onboarding. And next up is display experience. And for that one, we have one particular important thing, and that is the problematic situation with Lemurion displays, which basically start in portrait mode. And when you flip them to landscape, you are not able to push the mouse pointer across a certain limit, which is an annoying bug if you want to be a convergent desktop, if I might say so myself. But it would be cool to get some inputs and some help here, because it is a multidisciplinary effort. It involves working on Lemuri. It involves working on Qt Mir, maybe even Mir itself, and that means that it is a little hard to pull off at the moment. I have started with a few experiments, and I've managed to push the mouse pointer across the boundary, but of course the clicks didn't like drop where they were supposed to be dropped. So help is appreciated and input is appreciated. And again, the handle is freddle.me on Telegram to get in touch with me, and let's see if we can work this out.
Yeah.
That wraps it up for the display experience. That was a quick one. Next one would be the development process, and for that, I actually like that we basically got Rachanan take over the release management, because Rachanan at Pete Psuit, at Pete underscore Psuit, if I was saying it correctly right now, I'm not sure. If you want to get in contact with Rachanan. And it basically involves the whole process of how it is developed and how it is how Ubuntu Touch is developed, and how we version things, how we name things, how we release things, at what cadence we release them. Also, the ability to have the like being able to hotfix releases which have bugs in there after the release, and we need to Rachanan already in chats tries to. There we go. There it is. There we go.
Thank you, Rachanan.
And yeah, so Rachanan, really, thanks to you for taking this burden onto you, because I personally don't know who would be more fitting to do this other than you, to be honest. And because Rachanan has a very good overview of this thing, and he's the best to talk about this. The next one would be CVE tracking, and I think Apply has something to say about this here.
Yeah, because this is related also to release management, and also we need to track CVEs to be able to push it the fastest possible, because we want Ubuntu Touch to be an OS that is secure and also privacy oriented, and that cannot happen without security. So we need to patch things as much as we can. So we have to detect when it's something that is relevant to Ubuntu Touch. And so I will try to find some ways to do this. At least I'm the point of contact, and I know another really motivated person is Ivan. So at least we are both of us in this boat, and I hope we will find something during those 4-5 months now. I hope, it will be fast enough.
Yeah, and also as a frame of reference, we have had some input about this in the past, about CVE patching up kernels, for example, but we would prefer to have this not in an approachable way. So not trying to bash us over the head how we have not done this yet already, because that didn't work out back then, and I'm pretty sure that's not going to work out in the future either. So please, let's be responsive about this, and let's see where we can go about it.
Yeah, there are a lot of use cases that have to be taken into account. As you mentioned, kernel patches is something that is quite difficult. And what can we do at system level to patch things? And what can be done at app levels? It's a huge topic, and hopefully we will find at least some ways to figure things out and to try to have the best experience possible and the least amount of bugs and CVEs on our devices.
Oh yeah. So that brings us to number 6 here, right?
Yeah, the last bucket, which is about porting and system images. So the idea is to have a mainline recovery image, which I don't really understand myself.
So the issue right now is that all the devices that we ship OTA capable images with are requiring a recovery image installed on the device, and for that, so that's basically a kernel plus initramfs, which allows installing the thing called Ubuntu Touch onto your device, or updating it. And we have this for Android-based devices, but not necessarily for mainline ones right now. And Oren has, or at Oklopfer on Telegram, has raised the hand to make sure that this mainline approach to installing over-the-air updates and installing Ubuntu Touch itself, or probably more so with the OTAs, less so with initial installing. But the idea is to get a recovery onto the device that, for example, I could imagine where you plug it into USB and you can debug the device from your laptop, for example, or enter a shell to debug it, to get logs or something like that. And that's and also like having full functionality regarding over-the-air updates, as already mentioned. So that's pretty much it.
Okay, better understood now. I knew it was related to the Pine 64 devices, but I couldn't figure the real issue at hand.
Yeah, but really, again, thanks to Oren, because the mainline devices wouldn't be as good as they are right now, and also Luigi and others, of course, they wouldn't be as good as they are right now without their involvement. So thanks a lot for jumping up and making sure that like they get to that the mainline recovery image stuff gets also included. And let's see where it goes, right?
Yeah.
And
hopefully it will go far and beyond our expectations.
Mm-hmm. Let's hope for the best, right? Okay, so I think we are done with the technical deep dive and the buckets now. So I guess it's time for the sponsors, right?
Yeah, right. So we would like to thank our sponsors: Smooth, Voila, Pine64, Private Internet Access, DigitalOcean, GitLab, OneStyle, OCA, Gartner Associate, and Gartner and Associates Consulting Incorporated, Netlify, Cloudrun, CodeGlutin, Tixia, and Gandhi.net. And also a big thanks to our patrons. And we updated the list, so thank you for everyone. Acil, Hasmund Kopang, Boris Flowhouse, Daniel Franchak, David Seal, JT Brooks, Jose Angel Escura, Keyboards Holding, Kenneth Drew, Linus Rune, Lothar Ketterer, Make, Adam Yates, Marco A, Michael Kellner, Peter Mack, Philip Speicher, Rakesh PK, Robert Helly, Robin Hood, Rudy Harudi, Spendier Hose, Stephen Cow, Steven Granger, Saurav San, and Sabine Schwarzer, Will Atwood. Thank you
Yeah.
all. And if you want us to butcher your names, please hand up to ubpulse.com/donate, and you can donate to the foundation via pretty much a lot of ways. I guess we have patrons, direct transfer for within the European SIPA Accord, LibrePay, I think, and other stuff.
Oh yeah. So thanks a lot for your support. And oh my God, I'm unable to handle this tonight. So there we go. Thank you a lot for your support. And we wouldn't be here without you. So let's keep the ball rolling, I guess.
Yeah. Well, if we are during the thank you, I think we have to continue with giving a shout out to also app developers, because they bring functionality to our operating system, because an operating system without application is basically nothing.
That is true.
So since first then, 16 apps have been updated. So it was a lot. Thank you guys. And if you want to take the first one, maybe?
Yeah, the first one is Splider, and that one is made for, or that is an app for splitting bills among a group of people. So that's a cool thing, if you ask me. If you're more like if you're not like, what's the name again, Spendierhose? If you're not a Spendierhose, you want to split the bills, then you go ahead and split the bills with your friends and whatnot. So that's a very cool app to have.
Coogie, who couldn't be there for the touchdown, did a lot of work and updated 2 apps. So he updated the immersive mode indicator and the indicator through dark mode. So thank you, Coogie, for all your work.
The next one would be a Circle Jump by AppMyEye and Jonius, and that one is a pretty cool. It's a pretty cool game, if I remember correctly, where I don't want to talk I don't want to lie on air, but where is it? The new updated apps. It's a pretty cool game that I had the chance to play around with myself really quickly. And I can only suggest to you to give it a shot too, because hey, we have games. What? Who would have thought?
Yeah, and we have also ways to communicate, which brings us to Axolotl 2 by Aaron Kimmich, which has been updated, and hopefully it works fine. I didn't try the newest version, but I sure will, because I'm oh, by the way, if you don't know, Axolotl is a client for Signal. So yeah, so it will bring Signal to your Ubuntu Touch device.
So the next 3 apps actually are by Alberto Marigan. And those are Qt VNC, which is a VNC client, allowing you to remote desktop into your like laptops, servers, whatever you set up a VNC server on, which is also, I remember, a very, I remember pulling some of the code from Qt VNC, which is GPL-v3, into my own GPL-v3 app, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool VNC stuff there. There's also Imaginario and Meetubo. Meetubo specifically being a YouTube application.
Yeah, being able to stream content and maybe download also some videos.
Yeah, and also
Imaginario is sorry.
They're hardware accelerated also on the device where they run, because they use GStreamer directly underneath the app, so the application gets to render and decode videos pretty quickly and without wasting your battery. And I don't see much of a problem there.
And Imagine.io is an app about photos. It's a photo app that you're able to organize your pictures and also make some modifications to it.
Yeah, the next one is Source of Tales Mobile for Ubuntu Touch. I haven't tried it myself, but from what I can see, it might be also a game, and which requires you to have an account where you can log in, and then I'm not sure. Have you played with this?
No, not yet. I'm not a huge gamer on phone. I prefer the big screen.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, and it's MIT/X/expat license. So there we go. That is cool. Oh yeah, the next one. I just had to. I was wondering.
Brush over it. Yeah, so that's my own app, Domotics. Yeah, it's just a client for a Domotics server. I missed it when I first tried Ubuntu Touch, so I did it. And hopefully some people enjoy it. At least I know someone that installed it and told me that he liked it. So I'm happy with that.
Very good.
And thanks everyone for the motivation to port it to Focal.
There we go.
The next one is Wi-Fi Scanner by Aruba Islander.
Aruba yeah, Wi-Fi scanner. What do you expect from a Wi-Fi scanner, huh? So it basically allows you to scan the network in your nearby area, and allows you to see which hotspots or which access points are using which channels or frequencies, and allows you to make a judgment for improving your throughput of your own router, for example, where you can change the settings of your router based on what you gather through Wi-Fi Scanner.
Yeah, very useful. Very useful app. And the next one is also related to Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi Transfer by Alois Liska. And as the name implies, it allows you to transfer some files through Wi-Fi with FTP.
Oh yeah, that is cool. And it even shows a screenshot here how it looks like on the desktop when you try to enter it, when you try to connect to the device via your file manager. So it's integrating into the desktop's file manager so that you can drag and drop files between your phone or tablets and your laptop or desktop computer. Very cool.
Very cool indeed. So next one is for my fellow French Lionel Duboeuf, and it's called URL Dispatcher Tester, which is a tester for URL Dispatcher, I guess.
So what URL Dispatcher basically does is it allows calling applications through a specific URL scheme and passing on data to external applications if they're allowed to receive them. And with URL Dispatcher Tester, you can test the situations that for example, if you want to test whether your application as an app developer reacts to a specific URL, you can enter the URL inside of URL Dispatcher Tester and figure out if it does the right thing. Like SMSs or the telephone protocol, so to say, URL protocol. Pretty nifty.
Yeah. And I think Lionel did it for testing the SMS app.
Pretty much, yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Next one, T11 by Daniel Frost. And it's always useful to have a note application, being able to input some text and save it on your phone. Because, yeah, it's not all talking about. Sometimes you're in a meeting and you want to just input some reminders or even work on it. It's not the next one, but T11 is it's quite an easy to use, simple editor, and this one I like it.
perfect. Yeah, if you want or need something more sophisticated than a text editor, you could also have a, let's say, lightweight IDE, so to say, which is CBAS 2, which is also it basically, if I remember correctly, started as was it a Sailfish OS application originally?
I cannot say, but the CBAS name implies that maybe.
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah, it's been some time since I've been last involved with Sailfish OS, so here we go. But this is a pretty cool application, and it also allows spawning a Libertine container for building your click packages, for example. So if you want to develop on Ubuntu Touch, you can already do this with CBAS 2. It requires it's like Libertine container. It sets it up for you, and then it allows you to do some lightweight development here, which is pretty nifty, especially on a
Yeah.
phone, tablet that you can connect to a monitor, keyboard, and mouse.
Exactly. That's the goal. Convergence, being able to work from everywhere.
Convergence, yay! Oh no, we have this one. We have this ticker here. This Convergence.
Mm.
Oh my god, what did it do there?
And the last one is UT Tweak Tool. This is really useful app to help you tweak your experience with your device. For example, increase the size of the font for people that cannot read very well, or if they don't want to read with their glasses on. And some other interesting features as well as app related. You can install, refresh some, empty the cache for apps or stuff like this. But
Suspension.
Yeah, UT 2, really important app for us.
Yeah.
Donc, thank you, Imran Iqbal, and thanks to Yami for the port to Focal. Thank you guys. It's a great app and a well-needed one. Everyone at first said, "Oh, I missed this one in Focal." I remember people asking for it. When will it be ported? It's now the case. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks a lot. With that, we are pretty much through the new and updated app list. So let's jump over to the questions, especially from the forum. Let's start with those, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to go ahead?
Okay. So the first one is from Domu BPKM. And they ask, is there a timetable for a new Qt web engine update? And I'm turning my head to you.
Okay. So there are certainly occasionally rebases of Qt web engine coming in for the minor versions, but they're still based on Qt 5. And what that means is Qt 5 has basically reached its support limit, which means that Qt Web Engine itself is probably only going to receive small updates, small security updates, but not necessarily feature ones unless we jump over to Qt 6 and make sure that Qt 6, or also possible, some other browser comes along and wants to beat us to the punch, so to say. But there is not really a timetable for Qt Web Engine other than if I remember correctly, some Debian-based patches that get pulled in when they're released, so that we don't suffer from CVEs that remain unpatched, right? But so to answer the question, there's not much of a timetable, but we're still trying our best with the Qt 5 based Qt web engine that we're having. That brings us over to the next question. Giri, kind of, no idea. This person asks the question: will there be problems connecting devices to new Ubuntu Touch 2404? And I'm not really sure what that means, other than maybe rebasing devices on top of 2404. And for that, it shouldn't be as hard as the switch from 1604 to 2004 used to be, because most of the work has already been taken care of, and porting over or updating a port to run on a newer version of Ubuntu, or especially Ubuntu Touch, shouldn't be as hard anymore as it used to be in the past. And that still brings along the responsibility point, where the responsibility of updating a device port to a newer base is basically relying on the porter to do whatever is necessary, because there are some reference devices, there are some other devices that get updated as quickly as possible, because like core developers of the team work on it, or they're for example the Wallas and others that are supported, but that shouldn't hold you back from also becoming a member in the team and showing what you can do, and basically bringing those ports to Noble or 2404 when we're getting there. So there will be less problems for sure than the switch from 1604 to 2004.
Yeah, hopefully the goal is to make those changes easiest as possible, and hopefully we will be able to keep up with future versions of LTS Ubuntu. So 2404, 2604, 2804, 3004, etc.
The future is bright.
Yeah. If it's easier to just keep up with the new versions, if it's easier to just keep the port updated, then it will be maybe also easier to get more people on board, to have more apps developed, and to have a better phone for our everyday use.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
So the next questions are from Mr. T11 So he's asking, there still seems to be confusion and some conflicting advice about devices that are on Zenel on the device list, but running focal, be it stable or development. Is this going to be rectified with the list update? So I think Mr. T10001 is referring to the new version of the device list on the website. And hopefully that was one of the goals. I'm not 100% sure if this is the issue, but I think in the last couple of days I answered some person with which devices is Poco M3, if I remember correctly. Okay. And they didn't seem to have in the updater, they had the possibility to move to focal, but it didn't work. They went into a boot loop. And so I guess it was because the port was not complete to focal, and they should remain on Zenil for a while. if they want to have a well-working phone. But of course, if they want to tinker and help the supporter to make the move to focal, then of course, try it out. It's always welcome, some help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the next question, also by Mr. T10,001. On the devices list, I know the developers want to push focal, but after forum thread discussion, some are still staying with Zenel. Would it be possible to leave the list for Zenel and add the focal list above or below it for the time being, rather than removing the Zenel list for that device? Well, it is certainly, there's certain, I mean, input is probably welcome on this, but me personally, I'm not really sure how long we can keep the Zenel boat afloat. Because, or, I mean, we basically all left the Zenel boat. People who are still running Zenel are on their own, running the devices with basically unsupported release of Ubuntu Touch now. And that means that if you want newer applications to work on Focal, please get in touch with the app maintainers or grab the steering wheel out of their hands because they're asleep and drive the application to where it needs to be so that it works on Focal. Because we need, we can't spread ourselves too thin supporting or recommending even Zenel for much longer, because we're also already at the point where we want to go to 2404. And keeping that in mind, the 1604 releases, they might receive some app updates, but after all, it's something that I don't want to say it out loud, but I have to. You're basically on your own at this point with 1604. So please check out whether you can bring over what is missing from Zenel to Focal and beyond, rather than sticking with Zenel just because it works, right?
Yeah. And this address also a bigger topic, that is the fragmentation. Fragmentation is always has been an issue with Linux, and it will always be, because Linux is freedom and everyone is different. So yeah, we should have one Linux for one person. But when it's about getting something as big, as as complex as Ubuntu Touch, yeah, fragmentation is not our friend. It's our enemy right now. So we need everyone we can on board to support the newest version, to have a more stable environment. So the goal is, yes, to have something that works, but in order for it to work, we have to tackle the issues one at a time. So we need people on board to do that. If they all stay on something that is not moving, and not moving is the definition of being dead. So
yeah, I mean, as much as possible, if you're able to help, or at least willing to help, bringing all those applications or whatever you're missing, or device ports even, over to newer bases. Please don't let your hands stick in the pocket, but maybe share the work, or maybe help us to spread the workload, so that we can be where we want to be as a whole, right?
As a community,
as everyone who wants to use Ubuntu Touch as a daily driver.
That's the goal. We are a community, so we have to stick together and walk in the same direction to have a better phone in our pockets.
Oh yeah, definitely. So the next question, also by Mr. T10,001. Some people are trying UT and going back to Android for their reasons. Would it be possible to make really clear the stability of Ubuntu Touch on a device? This information may be lost in the busyness of the device screen, and people may miss something. And B, give a link to, or make it really clear how to go back to Android with advice of do's and don'ts. The problem with device specific, the problem here is device specific, and there is a problem that we are providing for most of the devices that we're supporting. It's an aftermarket installation. So you take the device, you wipe Android off of it, and you install Ubuntu Touch onto it. This is so device specific. It's like it's like human people. It's like people. Everyone in a room might have different feelings about something, and it is very specific to the person at hand that needs to be taken care of. And for that matter, it's hard to say whether there are do's or don'ts, because what is applicable to one device might not necessarily translate over to another one. And that basically begs the question, how should we do this? And for that, it might be helpful for others to improve the devices page and making sure that it gets there, or maybe make some YouTube videos if you're into that. I've noticed that a lot of people are pretty interested in making Ubuntu Touch related videos on putting them onto YouTube. So going back to Android is also very device specific. So it's hard to tell what is necessary in a generic way, which means that we again need more people helping out, especially those who have those devices, who know how to reinstall, uninstall Ubuntu Touch or whatever. If I would not like to see people jumping off the boat and being angry at us because they can't get back to Android, or they brick the device in the process of doing so. But
Yeah.
it definitely needs more people helping here.
And Mr. T1001, I know that he helps a lot of people on the forum to either go back to Android or to install Ubuntu Touch on their devices. And also something to address is that we made a lot of work to have the UBport installer working properly, and all the work behind the scenes that is done is just amazing for me to have all those devices managed by the same application, because as you said, it's all device specific. So for each and every one of them, it may be a different procedure. For a family, for example, for the Pixels, it might be similar. For the Xiaomi, it might be similar, but for every device, it's a different story, because they didn't ship with the same version of Android, they didn't have the same, and the port didn't happen at the same moment. So for everything, it's different. And the UBport installer makes it really easy for most of us. And so there are few cases where it doesn't work for your specific case. So which emphasizes how much it's difficult to make it something generic. And going the other way, it's the same process. So can the UBport installer do it? Install Android? I don't know.
Possibly could, if someone provided the patches for it. And again, to make the point clear, every device that you can see in the devices list of the UBports installer has its own specific configuration that tells the installer how to do things, right? How to install Ubuntu Touch onto the device. And that is very specific for every device. There might be some similarities, for example, for the Pixel 3a and 3a XL, because it is basically the same device, just in a different shell around it, and with a bigger battery. But the hardware is pretty much the same. And for that, point being, it's the way it is. But yeah.
Yes, that's something that we hope can be addressed, but it's a high mountain to climb.
Yeah. I see a question in the live chat that I would like to mention. Do you want to add something to this point?
I wanted to finish with Mr. T10,000 thanking everyone for their time and contribution to the project. So thank you also for that, because that's
Thank
important.
you. Yeah. So next question that would be from live chat here, and it is a question about some features like nearby share. Is nearby share referring to something like AirDrop on Apple devices, or is it? I'm not really
I think
sure.
that's almost the same like sharing with Bluetooth. We have,
Yeah.
I don't know if we still have it on Focal. I didn't check, but
No, we I don't think we have it, and it is similar. So I have expressed the ideas like 2 or 3 years ago to make something that provides a similar functionality to Apple and their AirDrop, and also their ability to share data between devices seamlessly. So, for example, you take your phone, you open the browser, and you open your laptop, and it also shows an icon on the laptop to continue where you left off on the previous device and stuff like that. And it would also include something like nearby share or AirDrop, as Apple folks call it. And I would like to see something like that myself. But I mean, we have a tight plan right now, a tight schedule. So I don't think this will be pulled off anytime soon, but it is a cool idea. And if anybody wants to work on this, I would very much welcome it. So I can't wait to see something along those lines on Ubuntu Touch as well, because it's not bad. It's pretty nifty, actually.
yeah, and we have some things to communicate with something nearby or far away, but often it relies on a local network. So because
Yeah.
it's Samba, it can be FTP servers or being able to SSH SCP files.
Mm.
So yeah, we are tinkerers, so basically we are fine with some solution like that. But it would be nice to be able just to share easily some contact with someone close by just by Bluetooth, and at some point Android had this feature where you tapped two phones and they just
Oh, yeah.
synced. But,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, I don't know if it's still something on Android, but those features are interesting.
Oh, Rajanan has a very interesting point here to make. Google has a variant of AirDrop-like functionality in Android, and actually some of this is in the Chromium tree. Sounds like something nifty to take a look at.
Yeah.
Well,
another thing in our bucket list.
oh yeah. So I'm checking out whether I mean we're already an hour into the stream and we're out of questions. So I think we should just go and have our, I hope, well-deserved rest.
Yeah, and we thank you all for joining tonight. It's always great to be there and to be able to answer your questions. And
Yes,
hopefully we will have some more news in the coming weeks. So stay tuned.
definitely. So with that being said, I hope everyone is having time appropriate, well-deserved rest, and let's see each other next time. With that,
Bye, and thanks,
bye.
Simon.
End stream now.